Welcome back everyone, I'm the Depressed Eeyore, and this is Long Live the Queen. Alright, so we're angry again, which is fine, I guess. So, I think my plan is I'm going to try to get into the tournament and see if I can blow some stuff up. Because right now we're at week 32, which means we're pretty much at the point where we're about to run into the... we got the tournament, and then we got the battle, and then whatever comes after that. Now, assuming I did things correctly, I should have two options to handle the conflict, and then there's a few things after that that we'll have to take care of. So, let's continue. We're gonna go ahead and work on our weapons while we still can, so skills, whoops, classes. We're gonna go ahead and work on archery. And done. You learn how to twist and wax bowstring from a variety of fibers. You learn to cut, fletch, and tie arrows. You learn about different styles and sizes of bows, long, short, and recurved. You know, archery has very short descriptions. They're very straightforward, and we got an outfit. Things have been so unsubtle lately. Everyone's on edge. We need something cheerful. You could hold a tournament. What a good idea. Knights, jousting, musicians, all sorts of competition. Everyone loves a contest. What will you offer as prizes to the winners? If you offer employment, that does give you a slight boost to your military, but not very much. But every little bit helps. But I'm gonna go ahead and do status and praise just like before. Being declared to be the best in front of the entire domain should be prize enough for anyone. Very well, I will draft the announcement. You leave him to his work. Also, I think that was when we were supposed to get the letter, or the gift of chocolates. But I'll see if it's the next one. If it isn't, I'll talk about it. Alright, so for right now, we're pretty much good to go. Well, hopefully that doesn't screw up anything. Alright. And my cat saying hello. Alright. Well, let's go ahead and just keep working on our anger. And I'll drop the loneliness. Yep, that works. Okay, hey kitty. You're kind of in the way, and you're kind of clawing me. Alright. We'll go ahead and work on swords. Yeah, we'll work on swords. We'll also change our outfits. We'll go ahead and change it to the tabard. There it is. So let's do our classes. We're gonna go ahead and work on swords, because that's is that our highest? No, it isn't. It's our... Let's see. Well, we can work on archery. You know what? Let's work on archery. So, done. You learn how about caring for your bow, how to store it between uses, string and unstring, and check for damage or warrior. You'll also learn you should never fire a bow without an arrow on the string. You strap on protective gear, practice gripping, drawing, and anchoring the bow before finally loosing a shot. You practice shooting at clearly marked targets across a flat field. You practice shooting at targets of different shapes and sizes of mixed terrain. This is the week of the general tournament. Nobles and commoners alike have turned out to compete against each other. The people will be pleased if you participate in their games, however it would expose you to danger. What event do you wish to take part in? Alright. As we know, if we participate in something, it's more than likely we're going to get attacked. So I'm hoping this is going to work out, because I do have a lot of magic. Also, let's go ahead and talk about it now. You noticed I didn't get any chocolates. These like assassinations and attempts to poison and stuff doesn't just come out of the ether, out of nowhere. It is sent by a specific noble, and the chocolates apparently were sent by the lady who we blew the face off of. And I'm thinking she's also the reason that the milk viper is there, but I don't have any proof of that. There are ways to kind of make it so she doesn't mess with you anymore without blowing her face off. I think if you take her as a minister, she'll leave you alone. Also, if you do something else that like really helps her power and political stuff, she'll kind of leave you alone. But right off the bat, like when the game starts, she's kind of against you and trying to kill you. Of course, she should have just killed me with magic, because she's apparently really good at it. Anyway, I want to go ahead and do archery. You make your way to the archery field. You know how to aim and lose, but so do an enormous number of people in your domain. You are swiftly eliminated from competition, but with no reason to be embarrassed about it. All the winners are announced and displayed to great cheers, as near Queen you place flower garlands around their necks. All of a sudden, a man approaches the winner's platform. It's Kevin, the Earl of Lowe. Here we go again. In one hand he carries an armor gauntlet and in the other a sword. My family's blood is on your hands. What is he talking about? He casts the metal glove to the ground with a clatter and raises the sword, pointing it at you. I challenge you, Elodie, a life for a life. He's challenging you to a duel. Wield magic success. Doesn't he know you can burn him to a crisp just by waving your hand? Kill him with magic. Without a further word, you direct the full force of your magical wrath at the Earl of Lowe. There is a horrible scream and the smell of burning flesh. I decline. Kevin's sword. That is the coolest thing I have ever seen Elodie ever say. Kevin's sword falls to the ground beside his gauntlet. He won't be needing either anymore. Now I'm not sure what that will influence, but that was hilarious. Wow, that's awesome. Alright, U10 service to lower my anger a little bit. Alright, well, we don't need to worry about any of this anymore. I'm gonna go ahead and change my outfit. What's my skills at? We have no internal affairs, by the way. Let's go ahead and change our outfit to the conversation one, which is tea dress. For classes, I'm gonna go ahead and finish off wield magic. Just get that taken care of. Just in case. And I'm gonna go ahead and keep working on court manners and public speaking, I guess. Not a big deal. Or we can work on presence. I'm not sure. Excuse me. I'll go ahead and save, though. I'll save under this one. I'll call this try 3. There we go. Just in case I screwed something up. It shouldn't be a big deal. I have literally two options to do this, so to solve the big conflict. So I'm not going to worry about it too much. Alright. Anyway, what I was going to do? Alright, I was going to do court manners probably. Yeah, let's do court manners. Classes. Conversation, court manners, court manners. You memorize the correct title for every servant in the castle. Treating servants with respect ensures good service. Also, I'm kind of ignoring the pluses and stuff, but whatever. To directly challenge someone's honor is to declare war. Never make a public accusation of cowardice, treason, infidelity, or murder unless you are prepared to face mortal enemies. And on that note, you study the etiquettes of dueling. Oh, I think Elodie's etiquettes of dueling is far more effective. As a monarch, you are expected to embody the virtues of honesty, bravery, and generosity. You should always offer aid to those in need. However, those that you aid personally are expected to give you their utmost loyalty. Whoa. Even unto death. Wow, I didn't know I can use the scroll wheel. Anyway. Oh, and I kind of cut out my other thing. Oh well. My lady, your father wishes to speak with you. He says it's urgent. Fine, I'm coming. You find your father standing over a map of the coastline, his face grave. Ships have been sighting on approach from Shandia, not trade ships. This is a war fleet. What? Within a week, they will be in Novan waters. Within 2, they can reach the capital. Then we'll fight to defend ourselves. You can try to use the treasury funds to hire additional soldiers, but it may be difficult on short notice. Recruit soldiers. Fine, we'll do that. You will need to draw up a naval strategy for our ships to carry out. You could choose to act as admiral and lead the fleet in person, but the danger to you would be very great. Unless you think your personal skills will make the difference, I would strongly advise against it. We're gonna go ahead and stay in the fleet, or stay in the capital. There's too much to do here. I can't go to sea. Oh, it didn't give me the option. That's a little annoying. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and load because I want to try this first option first. So try 30. Yeah, we're gonna be doing this one. Yes, I'm sure we want to do this. Not much we can really do though. Okay, I was gonna do wield magic. I'm gonna go ahead and switch to military and just do naval strategy. It's not gonna matter much though. Yeah, I'm not gonna worry about that. Just skip that. Let's talk about the 100%. You learn how to make use of images to wield your other powers at a great distance. You have nothing more to learn from wield magic. Alright, let's skip over this. Fine, we'll do that. Oops, I kinda chose an option already. Direct the fleet. The risk is mine to take. You have your mother's heart. There's one more thing I hesitate to ask, but an invasion. This is the sort of disaster for which a lumen's power may be worth the cost. If the fleet could be destroyed before they reach our waters, many lives would be saved. I don't know any magic that could sink a whole fleet. I'll have to talk to my mentor. You find the Duchess of Ursula in her guest quarters. A fleet from Shandia is attacking us. Is it possible to sink them all with magic? It is easy enough to attack one soldier, one ship, as a demonstration, but to obliterate an entire fleet, you would need an immense amount of power spread over a large area, more than any one lumen could control. If you tried to raise that much power yourself, you would die. Not could, would. So it's hopeless. Not necessarily. The most dangerous power of Imperial Nova was that of lumens acting in concert. If the need is great and the will is true, one lumen may choose to give command of her power to another. 3, perhaps 4 people working together might have the strength to destroy a fleet. You mean Selene, will that be enough? It might. Are you willing to take the risk? Such power has its price. Yes. This is what I was born for. I say we do it. Then we will begin the preparations. So be it. Alright, so... it doesn't really matter. Let's get rid of the depression. Alright, skills. We're gonna go ahead and keep working on naval strategy just in case. Not that it matters, it's not gonna be high enough. So yes, I'm gonna attempt to blow up an entire fleet. That's why I kinda wanted to make sure I at least have 3 people. You could do it with 4 as well, which means you would have to have that other character that I killed. You study different kinds of ships, their names, designs, and the study of crew needed for each. You study different kinds of ships, their speed, maneuverability, and standard complement of weapons. You learn about the recruitment for all civilized sailors to rescue the crew of a sinking ship, even an enemy. Danger on the high seas. You and your 2 fellow lumens join hands to focus your powers. Wield magic success. Your magical training has paid off by allowing you to stage this attempt at a safe distance from the invading vessels of war, which means you need 100, because that was the one that gives you range. Lumen success. Far in the distance, you hear the roar of the ocean. You have charmed as it buckles beneath the incoming ships, opening up a maw of void into which they tumbled helplessly. As they fall, the water rushes back and around them, washing it over decks and pummeling hulls. Even from so far away, you can see the disturbance you have made rippling through the water. Some of the Shinjians may survive, but their threat as an invasion has ended. So there we go, we just blew up an entire fleet. So, what's our mood at? We're doing good. We're willful. Let's become yielding. Well, actually, that's not going to happen. Yielding, lonely, cheerful. What does cheerful give? Conversation. Sure. Yay, I'm happy, because I blew up an entire fleet. Alright, so we get a bunch of bonuses. Let's go ahead and take some classes. We're going to take classes in court manners. And public speaking. Your teacher asks you questions about made-up nonsense, pushing you to improvise answers smoothly and swiftly without having to worry about them being correct. You read collections of famous historical speeches and practice saying them in convincingly dramatic fashion. You memorize the correct title for every servant in the castle. Treating servants with respect ensures good service. To directly challenge someone's honor is to declare war. Never make a public accusation of cowardice, treason, infidelity, or murder unless you are prepared to face mortal enemies. And on that note, you study the etiquette of dueling. Sorry, I repeated myself. The magical storms you summoned created giant waves which swept inland as well as out. Damage has been reported along the shoreline from Mazomba down to northern Marie. The beaches are covered with wreck and the bodies of animals, and many fishers and cocklers are missing. Are you blaming me? Of course not. Many more lives would have been lost if the fleet had landed. What worries me is that these reports are increasing even long after the events of the battle. More than that, an observatory in Calaris has seen strange shapes in the sea to the west. Something worse than simple storm may have been unleashed. Does that mean a sea monster? I think we let something out, but that's okay. I'm gonna be less afraid. Unfortunately, there's not much we can do about that without, dying. But, we'll make do. Really, I just wanted to get the achievement where I blow up an entire fleet. Which I succeeded, by the way. You brought the menu for an upcoming banquet and practice delivering it as a dramatic speech to an audience and confused chambermaids. You learn about debate techniques and practice them by trying to convince a castle gardener why a new fountain would be a good idea. Your teacher assigns you to create and memorize a short speech of your own. As a monarch, you are expected to embody the virtues of honesty, bravery, and generosity. You should always offer aid to those in need. However, those you aid personally are expected to give you their utmost loyalty, even unto death. You study the forms of written address, how to issue and decline invitations, how to announce an impending visit, and how to correspond with the rules of foreign domains. In the Grand Hall, your father is waiting for you. Our fears have been realized. A kraken has risen. A kraken? Enormous tentacle sea monster which can dive and surface at will. It is fast, voracious, and apparently unkillable. Any ship that ventures into its range is at risk. This could destroy Nova's shipping. What can we do? Do we just wait and hope it goes away? No. Quite unexpectedly, the priestess strides into the room. What are you doing here? I came to bring the records of the circle so that you would know what you face. Left alone, the beast will feed until the seas run red, and only then will it sleep. It would cost hundreds of thousands of lives. There are only two ways to end its threat. Lumen spell weaving could freeze a kraken in its tracks, holding it motionless, but only for a short time. If the spell is renewed every moon, giving the beast no time between castings to move freely, it should eventually sleep. How long would that take? Approximately 7 years. Years? But if at any point the spell cast is too weak or is not renewed in time, it would break loose, and the treasury would be drained keeping up such a routine. What is the other way? It is well known that an eldritch beast can be driven out by sacrifice. The life force of a lumen or potential lumen on the cusp of adulthood would be the ideal choice. No, you will not take my daughter. You see, Elodie, this is why I told you to reject them. They are all witches. Even without her mother's crystal, she would still have been a potential lumen. Keeping her ignorant would not have kept her safe. Potential lumen because I'm my mother's daughter. Which means Charlotte, too. But I would never hurt my favorite cousin. I will not allow this. The choice belongs to the Queen. Me? We're going to try to seal it. We'll have to do our best to seal the kraken away, no matter how long it takes. After all, isn't that what our magic is for, to defend the world from darkness? I will teach you the necessary spells. You must arrange the transportation. Very well. I can get rid of cheerful. Oh, no big deal. Let's become angry. Yeah. Hear about Kraken. You know. Hit some balls. Alright. Not much we can do right now. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna die, but if that happens, I can load the save and I can do a different option. There is another way, obviously, with the amount of lumen powers we have. But we did release a Kraken, which is pretty awesome. So, let's just do some classes. We're gonna do some... Let's just do some faith stuff. Why not? We'll do divinations. Actually, meditation. You close your eyes and visualize a crystal ball floating in front of your eyes. You close your eyes and visualize a crystal ball floating through the air, moving past your eyes and into your mind, filling you with light. You learn to visualize the space around you so that you can see the whole room with your eyes closed. You discover that if you put yourself in the right frame of mind, your entire body begins to glow faintly. Time has slipped by so quickly. Only 2 weeks remain before your birthday celebration and your official coronation as Queen. Have you done enough to build a stable Nova? The first of your soon-to-be regular voyages has now set out with Celine on board. She appears to have some special affinity with seawater, which makes her the best choice to guide a vessel while it hunts for the elusive beast. After all, you have to find it before you can enchant it. Let's talk to Juliana. There's something I don't understand. What is it? Magical powers are connected to lumen crystals, right? That's correct. But I can make myself glow by concentrating the right way, and it doesn't feel like it uses the crystal at all. Let me see. You concentrate and your skin begins to glimmer. You're right, it's not proper magic, it's something else. Is that bad? She holds her hands above your shoulders, moving slowly down along your arms. I sense no danger, ignore it, it's a distraction. Keep pushing. There's a million magical secrets I don't know, but I'm trying to learn. This one affects me personally, I need to know what's causing it. Very well, if I had to guess, I suspect it has something to do with your mother's powers. She is already a lumen when she bore you. Some small trickle of that energy may have passed into you. So the daughter of an active lumen might have strange powers. That is hardly a power. It's a quirk. It's not worth wasting time on. So, that's kind of interesting. That was from building a meditation, I'm guessing. But we'll do some more classes. We'll do divination. Why not? You read about well-known signs of bad fortune, wells turning sour, dry lightning, strange fish caught in nets, malformed babies being born, and so on. You read about signs that have presaged famous disasters, such as the seas running red before the doom shadow fell upon Nova 200 years ago. You read about King Latimer and how he knew he was destined for greatness when he saw the shape of a crown in the spider's web. You read about animal omens, in particular the flight of birds. Wow, you need 60 points in divination to know about the owl thing. You learn about signs which sometimes appear on grounds or leaves or leaves at the bottom of a cup. The castle is buzzing with preparations for your upcoming coronation. The minister presses you with details for your favorite colors and flowers and so on. You really can't see the point of wasting time worrying about decorations when there's so much else to worry about. Others are more interested in the subject of your marriage. Whomever you decide to marry will be elevated to the highest ranks of nobility, which could mean a major shift in the balance of power. Therefore, everyone is talking about your top candidates, even though you are under no obligation to marry so young. Talaris the Duke of Sedna is one option. Certainly he expressed interest in marrying you earlier. Your union would bring stronger ties to the domain of Talis and improve the situation along the Elath border. So, yeah. Then there's Bania, the Duke of Mari, a powerful and eligible noble, only about 10 years older than you. There's Linley from Kigal, whom you danced with at the gala. He's only 2 years older than you from the nice fella. When I played, when I went through the game, completed the game off the screen, this is who I married, and let's just say it didn't go well. He's not the official heir to the Kigal. His father has so far refused to name one. However, waiting to see which of his children is most talented and dedicated to the duchy, but whether he inherits it or not, he will at least have strong ties to that region. The out-leader is Gwinnell's half-brother Anseid, who's only 8 years old, but a potential heir to either Hellas or Murray someday if his aunt and uncle don't create heirs of their own. There are 2 or 3 minor earls around the age of 20 who might be passable alternatives. Of course, you could decide to ignore noble tradition entirely and marry a commoner if you are prepared to deal with the uproar. While you will need to marry eventually, you are still young. You could put this decision off until later. However, a clear succession contributes to the stability of your domain. Are you leaning towards any option? Notice, yeah, I think I did a Linley. I could do Talaris, which is that weird guy with a smirk. I'm pretty sure I don't want to be messing with him. And then there's Anseid, who's very young. Let's do Anseid. There's no time to pursue that thought at the moment, but perhaps in the future. So in other words, it's just fluff at the end. Mood-wise, there's not much we need to work on. We can become lonely, I guess. Oh, that's actually pressured. So now I'm angry. But that's okay. Let's go ahead and take some more classes. I don't know. This one. Learn about swords. You practice moving with a blade, sidestepping, charging, lunging. You practice using your blade to disarm opponents or shove them backwards. You spar with a partner, trading blows while looking for openings to tag it with each other. You begin to work with a metal blade, getting the feel for its weight and edge as well as learning how to care for it. At this time last year, you were celebrating your 14th birthday. You were in the school garden surrounded by your friends. A teacher brought you tea and cakes, while a wealthy merchant's son wove a crown of flowers for your head. It didn't matter so much that you were a princess then. Your title was something for the future. Many of your peers would be duchesses or earls or the like someday, but not them. Not then. You were children. Your parents could not attend on the actual day, but they did send wonderful gifts, some for you, some for you to share. And a week later, they came to visit, and your mother took you with her through the countryside in a splendid carriage. It was the last time you would ever see her. You wonder if, wherever she is, she can see you now. You are 15 years old, a legal adult. You have worked and studied and suffered and prepared, and now the time has come. You kneel before the priestess, barely hearing her words as she recites the blessings. She calls upon the gods to deliver peace, wisdom, and prosperity to you, and through you to all of Nova, and then she calls upon you for your oath of rulership. Will you guide and govern and protect your people to the best of your ability according to law and custom? I will. Will you, to the best of your ability, uphold the ideals of love, honor, justice, and mercy? I will. Lords and ladies assembled, I present to you your undoubted queen, who has sworn you her loyalty. You who have come to give her homage, will you do the same? One at a time, the head of each duchy approaches your throne and kneels to swear his or her service to you and your heirs. People of Nova, I give you Elodie, daughter of Fidelia, your true sovereign. What say you all? Long live the Queen, long live the Queen, long live the Queen. Thank you, I will. And there you go. Once his daughter was secured on her throne, Jocelyn returned to his birthplace to focus on his duties as Duke of Caloris. He was pursued by many women, but showed little interest in remarrying, directing them instead to his brother, the Duke of Mazomba. In other words, he didn't pick any lady up. Over time, Elodie and Charlotte slowly mended their relationship. Charlotte could never quite accept that either her mother or her beloved cousin had intended to kill the other. Eventually, she chose to cast the entire matter as a tragic accident and refused to speak any more about it. Oh, that's cool. I didn't see this one. The Queen and her trusted Lumen sailed out every week to check on the condition of the Kraken and reinforce the seals. It was inevitable that others would discover their secret and blame them for it. After all, the old Novan capital had been rendered uninhabitable by monstrous Lumen experiments. A tentacle beast from the deep was just more of the same. The Novan people were not the only ones to notice the increased naval traffic and the frequent absences of the young Lumen Queen. Pirates from Orcus stepped up their raids in the area, hoping to take Elodie hostage and ransom her for a fortune. The Queen was forced to engage in an even larger naval escort to make her regular trips to the binding site, and the Novan economy struggled under the burden. The matter of rulership of Elath had to be dealt with eventually. After so many recent troubles, the last thing Elodie wanted was armed conflict between Nova and Talis. Still, while Talaris, the Duke of Sedna, was the nearest blood heir, he was a foreigner, and the rulership of Elath had been tenuous for too long already. To solve the problem, Elodie found a compromise. A promising native administrator would be raised to the rank of Duchess of Elath, and then married to the Duke of Sedna. Their wedding would strengthen their ties across the border without weakening either position. It was something of a private joke between the Queen and her friend Gwenelle, Duchess of Sudbury, that one day Elodie would marry Gwenelle's young half-brother. After all, he wouldn't be eligible for years, and Elodie had the whole world to choose from. But with one thing and another, the Queen never quite found the right husband. To her surprise, 8 years after she had taken the throne, she discovered that little Ensid had taken all that joking quite seriously, had in fact fallen in love with her. After that, they convinced Gwenelle that the wedding invitations weren't a prank. The invention of the printing press sparked the beginning of a new age of illiteracy and knowledge. No longer were books in the sole preserve of the noble and wealthy. Now information and ideas could be easily passed from one place to another. As the birthplace of this invention, Nova is at the center of a storm of change. And thus Queen Elodie's legacy stretched into the future. And there you go. So, yeah, what happened, for one thing, I didn't get the printing press when I did my other playthrough, because if you remember from when I tried to, I didn't succeed in the checks to get the printing press. But I also didn't release the Kraken. I solved the issue by singing to the leader and making a, I think it was a court manners check. No, it was a composure check. But oh no, it was public speaking. It was something like that. Anyway, but the person I was trying to marry was the guy that I pissed off, I think. Yeah, well, not the guy that I pissed off, but one of his heirs. And what ended up happening was when it came to the marriage ceremony, he tried to the person Elodie was going to marry tried to kill her, but didn't succeed. But she ended up not marrying anyone. So that happened. But there we go. That's a lot of stuff that happened. I didn't know about the Elodie thing. There was no mention of Elodie at all. In fact, there was also no mention of a Kraken, but that's because we didn't let it out. Saving the story, you can actually, this option pops up even when you die as well. What it does is it will save it into one of your folders, I think, and it's just a link to all the actions, like a web page that has all the actions you've done. It shows all the dialogue, what skills you trained, and I think that's it. You might show what, like, some of the stuff you did for mood, and that's about it. It doesn't. I don't think it shows. It doesn't show the skill checks, but I think it shows your choices as well. So if you ever need to, like, review stuff, you can always just click Save Story and kind of just review it that way. The format of it's kind of not spaced out or anything, so it's kind of hard to read. But if you want to, you can always do that. But I'm not going to do that because that's going to open another window. So we're going to click Done. Let's take a look. So you get the coronation thing, and I think you unlock this just from like beating the game. I don't know if there's more pictures you can get or not. Checklist. Sunk a fleet with magic. Anything else? Been challenged to a duel. Hired a Lumen Minister. Nope, that's it. Beating the game gets you Bended Crown Queen. So there you go. If you piss off enough people, and do enough bad things, or fail a lot of the like diplomacy checks, like through the party and stuff, that all adds together. And if you do too poorly, it will cause you to go into a civil war, which can be a war you can't win depending on how things are set up. The tentacle monster, I'm pretty sure, is not the Kraken. It's something you have to go through like the forest or something for. Been sent flowers by a woman, I'm not sure about. Challenge someone to a duel. I don't know how that works. Faced a vote with no confidence. It's kind of similar to the Civil War thing, it's just a little bit different. Discover a terrible family secret. That one's kind of tough to do, I think. Hired a spy. You have to kind of get part of this. You have to start doing stuff that pisses off enough people for you to actually start getting the spies. Broken off an engagement. You can actually choose to agree to marry someone and then just not do it. And that's how that. Becoming an evil minion. There's actually a hidden stat called like cruelty. And if you get enough points in cruelty, which the way you get cruelty is by doing certain choices and like hunting while angry. If you get high enough, you can actually do something towards the end of the game where you become an evil minion, which is kind of awesome. Achieve naval victory. You can actually win the naval battle normally. If you do that, that's how you get this. It doesn't count if you use the explosion spell thing. Though, if you do a normal naval victory, you can still use your magic. It'll just act as like cannon stuff. That's what that other check is for when you go there. But that's about it. Overall, the game's pretty fun. It's one of those trial and error type games, kind of like I guess I Want to Be the Guy, but not as bad. Overall, it wasn't too bad. I mean, I beat it. I technically, with some save scumming, I beat it on my second try, technically. Yeah, and this is what, my third try? Fourth try? I don't remember. I lost count. But, yeah, it's not too bad. I definitely like the intrigue and stuff. The only thing that sucks is some of the skill balance. Like, a lot of skills aren't used at all. Though I was a little shocked that like learning meditation and stuff actually had revealed some neat little dialogue, which is kind of cool. Unfortunately, meditation's pretty useless as a skill check, just like dogs and all those other things. Like, notice that we didn't get the chocolates, which means if I had any points in dogs, it would have been wasted points. But overall, it's not too bad. Some people have done a minimalist run where they just figure out what the bare minimum you need to beat the game. And, sorry, my voice is bothering me for some reason, but, it's enough where you actually have a lot of points to just spread around wherever you want. But that bare minimum also means you probably, like, get a pretty lackluster ending where you don't do anything. But, overall, I had fun. I'll probably be messing around with this off-screen. I'm probably not going to do any more Let's Plays of it, because, quite frankly, you guys have seen it enough. As for the next game, I don't know yet. I might wait until, the Blood Bowl Chaos Edition comes out, and I might show off the single player of that if it's worthwhile. Well, hopefully I'll satisfy some of the people that have come for strategy games. But like I said, this game's pretty fun. It's on their site. It's like I think 10 or 12 bucks, which isn't too bad. If it ever gets on Steam, it'll probably be cheaper. But unfortunately, they've been forced to kind of rely on Steam Greenlight, which is awful because they have to spend $100 per game to get it up there. Right now they have 2 games listed on Greenlight, I believe. They have Science Girls and another game. I don't remember what it's called. It's one of those. It's another sim game, but it's mostly visual novel type, not stat building type. Science Girls is an RPG, pretty basic. I might try Science Girls in the future, but for right now I'll probably wait. So, I think I've rambled on enough. It's a fun game, and I'll probably be off-screening, messing around, seeing if I can try out some other paths and stuff. So, until then, everyone, I'm D-Depressed Eeyore, and this was Long Live the Queen. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I certainly have. See you guys next time.